Yo, good morning. How you guys doing? This is your coach Renz, and I'm going to talk about this Mayweather-McGregor fight and what you can learn from it. I think that most people don't realize that whether the fight was good or bad, whether people predicted it or not, there were so many lessons that we can learn from this event. Now, first and foremost, and I just want to go ahead and get this out the way, just like a lot of other things that's going on in this world today, this fight, like many other fights, is a microcosm of the racial and national tensions that we will have in this country and in this world. There were many people who, they were only going for McGregor because he was white. They were only going for Mayweather because he was black. They were only going for McGregor because he was Irish. They were only going for Mayweather because he's American. The thing about boxing, you're supposed to just root or go for the guy that you think is going to win based on their talent, based on their ability. That's why you're supposed to go for somebody in boxing. That's one of the reasons why I love the sport of boxing. Some people may find it brutal, think that it's something that we should have evolved from in our consciousness, and they may have a point. Matter of fact, they have a point. But I'd rather two men get into a ring, box it out, than two countries go to war. Like, I think personally it'd be awesome, and this is the only part I'm gonna say about this, that instead of two countries going to war and thousands, if not a large enough war, millions dying, how about the two leaders of that country get into the ring? How about a Kim Jong-il and Donald Trump getting in the ring? And we just settle those issues that way. That'll change who we vote for. I guarantee if that's how we determine policy and outcome when it comes to war, then our choice for president wouldn't be so black and white, right? I think our choice of presidents would be, who's the best fighter. And when it comes to boxing, and especially when it comes to you putting your money on it, Vegas is killing y'all. When it comes to putting your money on it, you better understand that you just go for who's the better fighter, but it exposed that there's this worldwide separation of people through race and nationality, which at the end of the day, we all just human. The only reason you cheer for an Irishman is because you was born in Ireland. But if you was born in America, you wouldn't cheer for the Irish. If you was born in Japan, you probably wouldn't care for the American or the Irish. You'd probably just be looking at who's the better fighter, unless you got some kind of racial, national issues yourself. But we should just choose people that we commune with, choose people we deal with, work with, choose people based on their abilities and their talents, not on their nationality, and certainly not based on the amount of melanin that's in their skin. That's a quick thing that I want to, tell you that we can learn from this fight. Here's the bigger thing that I think we can learn from this fight. The biggest thing I believe we can learn from this fight is that you got to stay in your dang on lane. Stay in your damn lane. Look, I give all props to McGregor. He lasted longer than I thought he was going to last. He actually fought a better fight than I thought he was going to fight. But the first thing, so I gave McGregor his credit. First thing, you're fighting somebody who's not hungry. Mayweather's not hungry anymore. He got 49 victories. You were his 50th. He's not hungry anymore. He's super rich. He's comfortable. Losing this fight is not going to hurt him. It wouldn't even have hurt his legacy because he's not hungry anymore. When you get out of your lane and your competition is people who are not hungry anymore, you look better than you would if you went against some of them young lions that's in there, that's still in that fight, that's trying to come up, that wants Mayweather's belt. Because you take one of those younger guys, one of those guys who is coming up, and they get in the ring with Mayweather, and the way Mayweather fought last night, props to Mayweather, he fought a very intelligent fight. A very intelligent fight. But if you get somebody who's hungry, and they go in on McGregor, that fight wouldn't last about 3 rounds, if that, about 3, maybe 2. It may not even, depending on who it is, may not even last 1. You stay in your lane. You stay in your lane. Because if you come against a young, hungry lion, you're going to get smashed. You want to start a business, in a business where there's a lot of hungry people and you're outside of your lane, you're going to get smashed. You start dealing with people on business levels and personal levels and physical levels, and you're outside of your lane, you're gonna get smashed. You start dealing with people on spiritual level and you're outside of your lane, you're gonna get smashed. So you need to learn how to stay in your lane, because McGregor, is he a great fighter? UFC fighting? Sure. But what did you see last night? What you saw was, and then people just saying, oh, he cheating. When you get outside of your lane, it's hard for you not to be yourself. And I'm not mad at McGregor, because McGregor was just being himself. People were getting mad that he was, clutching his arms and bending them a little bit. That's what they do in the UFC. That's what MMA fighters do. They were mad because he was giving him some hammer fists, some chops. That's what they do. McGregor was saying that he should have gotten more time. That, even though he was pretty much out on his feet. But in boxing, the rules are, if you're not defending yourself at all times, a referee should stop the fight. And he stopped the fight because he should have, because you weren't defending yourself, dude. I know in MMA, you get punched, you on the ground, you bleeding. They give you a lot more leeway. You literally got to be out on your back. But this is boxing, dude. You out of your lane. In this lane, you got to know the rules. So if you're trying to get into a business, you want to get into a relationship, you want to do anything in your life, and you don't know the rules, and you trying to apply the rules that you came from, you out of your lane. Let me tell you one of the things I see the biggest failures in, and that's when I see somebody who's corporate. You straight corporate. You may have been a manager, you may have been an executive, you may have been the CEO is pretty decent, but you may have been a big a big manager in a company, corporate. I met many people who were major human resource people, right? They the head of human resource office for 10, 15, 20 years. They want to go into working for themselves. They want to be an entrepreneur now. And they think that because they've been managing human resources, that they know how to do business. Well, you've been managing human resources. You ain't been managing product resources. You ain't been doing pricing. You ain't been handling taxes. You ain't been handling the day-to-day operations. You ain't it's a difference when you the CFO from being a human resource manager. There's a difference when you the CFO, when you the human resource manager. When you the CIO, that's Chief Intelligence Officer, or Information Officer, sorry, Chief Information Officer. Now you got to handle all the tech. It's different now. You ain't got that guaranteed check coming in. You don't have anybody else you can call, right? You ain't been you haven't been the sales manager. So you ain't been the sales manager, you don't get it. So you want to go into that realm without that understanding of the rules that apply to being an entrepreneur. It don't work. Now for all you entrepreneurs right now who sit up there smiling and like, yeah, it's different out here, it's rough out here, you got to know what you're doing or you're going to fail. That's why so many of them fail. They skewing the numbers because they failing because they don't know what they're doing. This is true. But then take myself. As an employee, I suck. I'm telling you right now. As an employee, I'm horrible. The only time I've ever been a good employee is when I was an independent contractor. And the contract allowed me to pretty much go out and just do what I'm supposed to do. When I was out training TSA, I had like this much rules, and the rest of it, you created your programs and ran your events or your training sessions at different airports the way that you run them. You had like all this autonomy to run your program. When I was an IT instructor and I was contracted, I can pretty much, I have the book program that I was going to use as a guide, but I can run my classes, run the labs, develop the type labs, and run the classes how I wanted to. So in those instances, I was still a good employee because I had that freedom that an entrepreneur needs. Entrepreneur needs that freedom. We need that freedom to succeed and that freedom to fail. We gotta have it. If we don't have that thing on our back that said that we might fail, that there's no backup plan, that somebody ain't got our back to scoop us up, and we need that thing where we can just create. We're horrible. When I worked for Citibank, I worked for them for 6 months before they got tired of my butt coming in there trying to tell them how we can do things better, how we can make certain changes and save more money and get more sales. I mean, I was outside of my lane in the job that I had. I was in there as an IT guy. Why am I in there trying to get the salespeople, get the corporate salespeople to do things differently, to process their stuff differently? I wasn't supposed to be in there doing that. I was supposed to be in there doing your IT work, but I couldn't help myself. And I got on my manager's nerves so much that they was like, we don't think you should be here. And it was a mutual agreement. I left. I didn't get fired. I found another job. I found a contract job and I left. But I was told that I should start looking. So I pretty much got fired. So, you know, I got outside my lane. You know, I didn't know any better. I got outside my lane. Because most entrepreneurs do not make good employees unless they're the CFO or the CFO. If they had, like, if you come from owning your own accounting firms, you make a good CFO for a company. But you're not going to be a good, like, just accountant. You're not going to be a good general ledger or, you know, accounts receivable, accounts payable person if you come from running your own accounting firm, unless you're faking it as an entrepreneur. So we got to stay in our lane. We got to know where we at. When it comes to relationships, we got to stay in our lane. Some of the biggest failures I've had in relationships is when I maintain a relationship with people that I know don't fit my personality. And I know I don't fit their personality. You know, I was married to a woman whom her personality is geared for somebody who wants to get that 9-to-5 job and rise up in their career, you know, invest in their 401ks or IRAs or what, you know, Magellan funds, Vanguard funds. That person who does that, take their couple of vacations a year, you know, looking at the retirement. That's that person. That's who she should have been with. She should not have been with the guy who says, I'll risk everything to build this business. I'm not worried about retirement funds because my retirement fund is multiple businesses providing me constant income that increases annually because the inflation increases and the prices increases and the customer base increases. So my retirement is constant cash flow. That there's no such thing really as retirement, because even when I'm 80 years old, 90, 100 years old, and like I tell my son, when I'm 250 years old, I'll still be looking at what business I can build, what business I can grow into. Like, I'm 45 and I just picked up a new mentor last night. So yesterday I picked up a new mentor because I'm always looking to grow. I'm always looking to grow. So it's that thing of I'm never satisfied. I think I told y'all in another video that in the movie The Founder, they display how Ray Kroc, his wife, that he was 52 years old and his wife just couldn't keep growing with him. So he had to go get a wife that grew with him. And he was able to do McDonald's without the pressure of dealing with a bunch of home stress. You see, I got out of my lane by marrying somebody who didn't fit with my personality, because that caused a lot of strife in our relationship. That caused struggle, that caused argument, that creates tension. That kind of tension overflows into other aspects of your relationship. And then what? Then you start thinking that, oh man, we also got this problem. Oh, we also got that problem. So you got to stay in your lane when it comes to that. Now, in that relationship, there was some other things that was outside of each other's lane that should have been avoided. And, you know, I'm gonna be straight up. I ain't got nothing to hide. Y'all know I'm transparent. But sexually, we were outside each other's lane. I'm not gonna go into details about that because that's none of y'all business, and I'm not gonna put her on Front Street like that. But we were outside each other's lane. Spiritually, we were outside each other's lane. She thought that she could deal with my spirituality, right? But she really couldn't, because sometimes when people are in a religion, I'm not gonna say she's religious, but you know what? Yes, she's religious. Because let me tell y'all something. If you're in a religion, then you're religious. Stop saying y'all spiritual. I really wish people who are in a religion stop saying you're spiritual. Say that your relationship, you know, that you're more about the relationship. But saying that you're spiritual, you know, that's just an open window, and it's confusing. It's confusing. You know, before all the Waco, Texases and the Falls Gates people didn't mind saying that they were religious, that they had a religion, that they were part of a religion. But then all the little whack out people start putting a bad name on the statement of religion, y'all started becoming spiritual. Man, be relational. Be relational. How about that? So, I'm sorry. I went on a tangent. But the fact of the matter is, we were different. And I've seen couples who are different. They've been married for decades and they make it work. But it's a certain mentality that you got to have if you're of different religion, spiritualities, in order for that relationship to work. Basically, you just got to respect each other's religion, respect each other's spirituality. If you can't do that, you're always going to have a bug that's bothering you about it, then it's just not going to work for you. So we had some differences. We was outside of each other's lane. See, McGregor was outside of his lane trying to fight where he's not supposed to be. He's doing them little hammer chops and grabbing a dude from the back because he's outside of his lane. You guys got to figure out what your lane is. You got to figure out what your path. I know people like to say, oh, God, please tell me what my purpose is. Okay, if God ain't told you, then how about this? Look at your talents, because maybe the Creator's already told you. What are you talented at? What do you enjoy? What talent that you have that you enjoy employing that talent? That you can employ that talent no matter what. But here's the one thing I can't stand this. When they say, what is it that you can do and you love and you would do it for free? I call that shit charity. That's the charity. All right? The things that I would do for free is charity. I love coaching. You think I'm going to do coaching for free? I surely will not. My coaching is not a charity. I love coaching. I love speaking. If your company wanted me to come and do a keynote or a training on leadership, I'm sorry, you're paying me. I'm never going to do something that I love for free that I know I want to get paid for doing it. So don't give me that, I would do this for free, so I'm going to figure out how it's going to just make money. That's that smoke and mirror bullshit that they tell you to get you to buy some program or read some book. Y'all need to wake up to that mess right there. I'm telling you right now, if you want to work in my coaching program, you're paying. You're paying. That talent is not free because the value of that talent, and this is why you need to understand it. If you got a talent that you love and then you got to place a value on it. You place that value on it and you freaking demand that you receive that value. If you don't, then go do that for charity. That's charity. And go do it for charity because you don't care. If you don't care, then go do it for charity. Because that's what charity is you doing something that you love and you want to give it away for free. But I'm telling you, business coaching, it ain't free. Life coaching, it ain't free. Spiritual coaching, it ain't free. None of it's free. Now I know y'all go to church. A lot of y'all going to church today. Went to mosque, synagogue over the weekend. Them pastors up there, their story might start out that they did it for free. But they wanted to get paid. And they're getting paid. I ain't mad at them. Because they doing what they love. But they got a value on it. The ones who build bigger churches, because they got value on it. They put a value on what they do. Now I know y'all gonna be offended by that. No, I'm telling you. They had a value for what they do, which is why they get paid and which is why they build bigger churches and they keep growing and they keep looking to grow. Now I know you're gonna say they're growing because they want to spread the ministry. No, they also want to get paid. They may want to spread what they believe, but they also want to get paid. So stop with this bullshit about do what what can you do? What would you do if you was doing it for free? Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. There ain't no way I would give so much of my time away for free that I'm not getting paid for it, because then I'm gonna find myself living in the poorhouse. And that whole thing about it'll magically come, tell you what, if you're a great chef, great cook for free. Keep spending your money cooking for free every day, because if you love doing it, you'll do it every day and do it for free. And let's see how long you do it. I guarantee that mess will stop. It will stop. You got to learn how to stay in your lane. I remember it was in like the mid-90s, I believe. I don't know the exact date. But there was like this military issue going on in Haiti, right? It's a little change. This is still about staying in your lane. Military issue going on in Haiti. Now, I was in the Marine Corps. Now, as a Marine, we are Marines and call Marines because amphibious assaults, amphibious landings, going from water to land, that's our specialty. That's the first thing we were known for, coming off the ship and taking the beach, taking the land, going in there and just keep taking. The Army's job is to come behind us. Now, I'm not saying the Army can't go and take, but the Army is more land-based. But the Army's job, when we take a beach, the Army's job is to hold the beach. Now, the Marines are not designed to come in as a huge army and start a big, huge battles and that sort of thing. We're not designed for that. We're designed for smaller insertions that are strategic. So this issue was going on in Haiti. They were calling for an amphibious landing. But the Army decided that they wanted to do the amphibious landing onto Haiti. They wanted to come off the ships. They wanted to do it, land the helicopters, and they looked stupid. It was a huge mess. You had guys hitting the airport, jumping out of helicopters, laying down in plain sight in the middle of the tarmac while the news cameras are just looking at them. The news cameras just looking at them. It was like, I'm sitting there watching that thinking like, what the hell are they doing? Why did the helicopter just land in the middle of the tarmac like he had a normal airport or on a normal base, and these guys are laying in the middle of the tarmac, completely exposed targets, no covering, no concept of fire team maneuvering. What in the hell are they doing? I was watching this just laughing like, what? It's because these guys haven't been trained to do this. That hasn't been what they've been training for since they came into the military. That's not the Army's job. They got out of their lane. And when they got out of their lane, they look stupid. The only good thing is that Haiti, the people, I think whoever was trying to put a coup in Haiti didn't attack them, because there would have been some unnecessary deaths if they had been attacked. That's why you got to stay in your lane. You may not have a full death, physical death, but you might have a spiritual death. You might have a financial death. Because if the Marine Corps would have came in there, it would have been totally different. It would have been totally different. The helicopters would have been there to assist, give air cover for the AAVs, amphibious assault vehicles, to which the Marines would land in and use those for covering, as well as maneuver from the beach to the airport, not just land at the airport. What if somebody circled around you and they controlled the beach? Now you got somebody behind you, you got somebody in front of you, or to the left or the right. Now you're getting outflanked. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And that's what McGregor did not do. He got out of his lane. Now, he got out of his lane with somebody who wasn't hungry. He got out of his lane with somebody who wasn't hungry. You get out of your lane and somebody's hungry, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. The world of hurt. Now, I know I went long, but I'm going to stop. But I want you guys to comment. I want to hear, when have you gotten out of your lane and it just worked perfectly? That's one question. Another question. When have you gotten out of your lane and you got smashed for getting outside of your lane? And I know you had to recover, and I hope you recovered. And you may be in that recovery state, but you can recover. There are things you can do to recover if you've been smashed, and you need to get yourself together. You need to figure it out. Many people get out of their lane with their finances, and then they got to run and they got to try to fix their credit. So they've gotten smashed that way. So there are different ways. There are different things. I want to hear in the comments how you gotten out of your lane and how you recovered, how it smashed you. Or if you got out of your lane, you realized it, and you found something inside you that said, hell to the no. I'm finna, this here, I'm from the South, so we say finna. This right here, I'm finna get this straight. I'm finna learn how these jokers fight. I'm finna learn the rules. I'm finna become a champion at this before the young lions come up and get a piece of me. I'm finna be the man in this nonsense. You see, I picked up this mentor last night because this mentor is in an environment that I'm not in. I don't know the rules. It's an entrepreneurial game that he's playing, which I can get down with that and I understand that. But the thing about it is, I want to know the rules. I need to learn the rules before I get into it. And here's what people don't understand. A true entrepreneur understands patience. A true successful person, period, understands patience. I told him last night, It may take me 10 years before I'm ready to start playing in this realm, to start playing your game. And if it takes me 10 years, I'm fine with that. I'm patient with that. I'll keep doing what I'm doing over here, but prepare myself to launch into his realm. So I'm good. I'm good. 10 years doesn't bother me. I'm 45. I'll only be 55 at that time frame. And at 55, if I'm starting something that has that ability to make me millions every year, you think I'm gonna have a problem with that? That if at 55 I start something that by the time I'm 65, that enterprise is making me millions, do you think I have a problem with that? Nah. Hell to the nah, I don't have a problem with that. And that's what some of y'all need to learn. For anybody who didn't look at this video till I got to this part, damn, your patience made you miss this part. But for those who stayed this long, recognize that you gotta have patience. If you get outside your lane, but you decide you wanna fight, or you plan on getting outside your lane, and you wanna come in there like a big dog, like a boss, then you get yourself a mentor. And if it takes you 10 years, then be willing to pay the price for 10 years. Because guess what? I gotta pay this man. I'm paying him to be my mentor. Quit looking for free shit all the time. Quit looking for free stuff all the time. I'm paying him to be my mentor. And I may be paying him 10 years and not get one financial result from it, but the financial windfall that I could possibly receive for my lifetime is far greater than paying him for 10 years. Can you do that? Do you understand that? If you don't, get yourself a job, work that job, get you a better retirement plan than a for anything, and stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Okay? Just do that. If you see a woman and you know she's outside your lane, leave her alone. Stay in your lane. If you see a man, he's outside your lane, leave him alone. Stay in your lane. If you stay in your lane, you be happy. But if you want to get outside your lane, you need to go and get trained to get outside your lane. All right? You can't be an NBA player and think you're going to go run up in the NFL without getting some training. You got to stay in your lane. Very few have done it. Very few are two sports athletes. But stay in your lane. But if you got patience and you're willing to build something, oh, hey, you might be an apex. You might be an apex. And when I'm ready, I'm already ready, but in my leadership programs, that's what I teach people. It ain't about being a lion or being a beast. It's about being an apex. It's gonna be an apex, whatever you want to be. But you're gonna be the top. You're gonna reign supreme over that. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Free yourself to be yourself, and remember that your greatness is non-negotiable. The more you remember that, the more you think about that and know that, then you're going to have great things happen in your life, because you're going to be the causal factor that make those great things happen in your life. So, love you guys. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.